Welcome to a 1-hour Hatha practice. Tonight our practice will be focusing on Pranayama, the discipline of the breath. And you can find this practice later on my YouTube channel if you like. And also if you'd like to have some music for tonight's practice, feel free to follow me on Spotify and you can get playlists on there. My name on Spotify is Tamara YVR. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. And as I just said, tonight our focus of our practice will be on pranayama, but I'd like to bring in an extra intention. So let's see, I can randomly choose an intention and we can weave that into the practice. I always have the perfect intentions. These little cards are called the Living Peace cards. So tonight the extra intention that I'll offer you is mindfulness. To be mindful is to gain intense awareness of the present moment. Sounds, sights, flavors, and scents. Everything that is happening right now. What you are thinking, feeling, and doing in this instant. The breath can bring you to this state. So how perfect that tonight the focus of this practice will be on the idea of pranayama, of breath control. And in our practice, there are actually 8 limbs of yoga that can be talked about. There are many philosophies of yoga, but one is the 8 limbs of yoga that was passed down by Patanjali. And the 8 limbs are interwoven in every yoga practice, but we don't often think of them as separate entities. They sort of get blended together. So the first of them is the yamas, the disciplines of yoga. Some of the disciplines include ahimsa, non-harming, and kindness, like kind to yourself and to others. The second is the niyamas, the observances. So things that you make sure that you're doing around in your space and with your body. The third are the asanas, the movements and the postures, and that's mainly what we think of when we think of yoga, but really it involves all 8 of these limbs. The fourth is pranayama. So the pranayama is the breath control or discipline of the breath. And that's the area where I want you to focus in for this practice, not only because it's an important part of yoga, but also it is the key to being mindful and staying present. And then the 5th limb of yoga is Pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses, which you often experience when you close your eyes or have your face down, maybe when you close your ears. And dharana, concentration, so that comes from our drishti, our focus, our one-pointed gaze. And dhyana is the meditation, so that's part of our yoga practice as well. And sometimes we meditate on a mantra or a breath or other intentions. And the last that kind of brings it all together is samadhi, which is the union or the bliss that we are trying to achieve through this practice. And yoga itself means to yoke or bring union together of 2 entities. So coming back to number 4, pranayama, that's where we will hone in our attention tonight, and that will help to keep us mindful as that extra intention that I've offered. If you'd like to bring in another intention that can help keep you focused, you're of course welcome to do that. Maybe something personal or something collective or even for both. And as well, find a dedication for your practice. Where do you want this energy to flow that you're creating here? We'll start tonight with alternate nostril breathing. And this breath might make your nose a little bit runny, so feel free to grab a tissue and blow your nose before we start, or have a tissue handy to blow your nose after you're finished. And this breath, it helps to balance and regulate the 2 sides of our body, the left and right side, by inhaling through one side, exhaling through the other. There are many different ways of blocking the nostrils to do this. So if you've done it before and you have your own way, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I'll teach you one. So find yourself in a nice tall seat. You can sit onto your shin bones like I'm doing, a Virasana variation, or if you want to sit flat onto your bottom or onto a block, you can with your knees out wide and your ankles in front of one another. And what I like to do is I use my kind of hang loose hand, so my thumb and pinky finger, and sometimes I'll join my ring finger as well together. And your right thumb will block your right nostril, and your ring finger and maybe your pinky together will block your left nostril. And some people like to place the second and third finger at the third eye, Ajna chakra, and use that as a way to stimulate the third eye and balance out the fingers on each side. So whatever works for you, you can do. And if you're not used to this, it takes time to learn it, and this is why we practice. So let's take 3 deep clearing breaths together, and when you breathe out here, I'd like you to sigh out your mouth. You know, it's Thursday, so it feels like we need to sigh out. I don't know where you are or when you're going to practice, but for me it's a Thursday. So let's take a deep inhale breath through the nose. Sigh out your mouth. Another deep breath in. Sigh out your mouth. One more deep inhale. And sigh out your mouth. Beautiful. Now take a deep breath in through your nose. Get your right hand ready. Block your right nostril with your right thumb. Exhale out your left nostril. Inhale through your left. And now block it with your fingers. Exhale through your right. You can close your eyes if you like. Inhale through your right. Block your nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Block your left. Exhale through the right. Start to find this rhythm. Inhale through the right. Try to pause at the top. Block your nostril. Exhale through the left. Find a pause at the bottom. Inhale. Block your left. Pause. Exhale right. And don't worry if you've gotten lost. Just try to stay with it. Inhale. Block the right. Pause. Exhale left. Fully exhale. Pause. Inhale left. Block. Pause. Exhale right. Inhale. Block. Pause. Exhale left. Inhale. Block. Pause. Exhale right. And continue a few more rounds on your own. Try to find that pause at the top of every inhale, the end of every exhale, and notice what's happening to your mind. Your mind is concentrating, meditating, bringing you closer to that state of union. And with concentration and meditation on the breath, you stay present. That's the purpose of mindfulness, to stay right here in this moment. Take 2 more rounds on each side. Try to end completely on your right side if you can. Hopefully your last side here on the left, exhale completely, and then the right side will open. Take your last inhale. Release both your nostrils, hands to your lap, exhale fully. Both nostrils. Take another breath in through your nose. Exhale through both nostrils. And start to take a slow, deep, even breath as you float your hands to your heart center. If you need to, you can always wipe your nose with a tissue. Again, coming back to your intentions. Maybe for you, the intention is mindfulness, as I opened with, or another intention. Find your dedication. Just notice the mind, so soft after a few rounds of deep breath. You become very present to this moment. Become aware of your senses, what's happening around you, what's happening within you. Open our practice here with one beautiful sound of Om. Take a deep clearing breath in through your nose. This time sigh out your mouth. Inhale for Om. Bow your mind into the beautiful light of your heart. If your eyes are closed, you can blink them open as you release your palms down onto your thighs. Come forward onto your hands and knees. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders and stretch your legs out one at a time behind you. And you'll notice this calming wave that comes over you through a simple practice of pranayama, and that effect of serenity that it brings for your practice. So I highly recommend you have some kind of pranayama practice every day. Keep your toes tucked, sit back onto your heels. You can lean forward onto your fingertips if you need, if this is difficult for your feet. Try to wiggle a little bit side to side. Stretch out through the soles of your feet. And come back through center. Walk your hands a little bit more forward than where they are now. Tuck your toes. Lift the hips up. Lift the heels up high. Bend your knees a lot and pull your belly toward your thighs. Take a deep inhale breath here, focusing on the breath. Breathe out your nose. Exhale. Drop your head. Look between your inner thighs. Deep inhale. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your hips back and up. As you exhale this time, straighten your legs. Press your heels toward the mat. And now press into your hands. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank pose. You can always lower your knees. Exhale, back and up, downward dog. A few times. Inhale, the full breath to ripple forward. Exhale, full breath to reach back and up. 2 more. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, back and up. Last round. Inhale, ripple forward. Little floss of the shoulders here. Exhale, hips back and up. Take a full deep breath in. And a long full breath out. And slowly start to walk your hands to the back edge of your mat. Fingertips to your shins or your knees. Halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Roll the shoulders back. Try to straighten your arms and legs. Ardha Uttanasana. Take an inhale again. Lengthen through the spine. Breathe out your mouth as you exhale. Fold. Release. Inhale again. Halfway. Lengthen. Breathe in through the nose. Sigh out your mouth. Exhale. And now slowly ragdoll yourself up. Take the whole breath, or even 2, to come all the way up. Reach your arms to the sky as you take a full breath in through your nose. Lengthen the tailbone under. Maybe arch back. Urdhva Hastasana. Stand tall as you exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale. Reach your arms up to the sky. Flip your left palm up. Wrap your right fingertips around your wrist. Feet can be hip distance or big toes touching. Take an inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, hinge up and over to the right side. Press your hips to the left. Inhale back through center. Same direction. Exhale up and over to the right. We'll do that one more time and hold. Inhale back up. Try to keep your ears in line with your arms. Exhale up and over to the right. Keep pressing your left hip out to the left. Fingertips reaching up and over to the right. Take another deep inhale here. Stay for your exhale. Inhale back through center. Release your arms. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky again. Flip your right palm up. Wrap your left fingertips around your right wrist. Take a full breath to lengthen. Tailbone toward your heels. Exhale, over to the left, hips to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, use the breath to go deeper. Inhale back through center. This time as you exhale, hinge over to the left, hips to the right. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Try to keep your ears and arms in the same line. Chin slightly away from the chest. Feel that breath reaching into the right side of your rib cage as you breathe in here. Open up, a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale all the way back up through center, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, float the hands down to your side. Roll your shoulders back. And now bring your hands to your lower back. Try to root the sacrum down. So tailbone curling toward your heel, shoulders back, elbows toward each other. As you inhale, start to lengthen up through the spine, lift the heart. And as you exhale, a little backward bend here, not too deep. Another inhale, lift a little higher through the heart. Exhale, bend back. One more, inhale, lengthen. Maybe a little deeper as you exhale. Slowly come back up, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. So you can see we're doing a lot of breath and movement here. The asana practice. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. And this time bend your right knee a lot. Bring your right hand underneath your face. Bring your left hand to your left hip and start to turn and twist to the left as you keep your left leg straight. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Take an inhale breath here. Rotate a little deeper on the exhale. 2 more deep breaths here. Inhale, reach up. Rotate a little more on the exhale. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Little deeper on the exhale. Soften your knees, halfway lift. Inhale, both palms to your shins or fingertips in front of the toes. And release. Bend your left knee, bring your left palm underneath your face, right hand to your right hip. Turn and twist to the right. Stay or reach your right arm up to the sky. And we'll take a few breaths here. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale again, open up. Exhale, twist a little deeper. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back through center, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now walk your hands all the way forward to the top of your mat. Step your feet back if you need. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take an inhale, bend your knees a lot, pull the hips back and up. Exhale, heels to the mat. Look forward to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or lightly hop forward. Halfway lift again when you get there. Ardha Uttanasana. Nice flat back. Lengthen the legs. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Lengthen all the way up to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Breathe in through your nose. Lengthen, flat back. This time plant your palms. Step your right leg back. Lower your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Pull your outer left hip back, right thigh forward. Again, flip your right palm up. Left fingertips around your right wrist. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hinge up and over to the left. And feel that stretch down the front line of the body. Try to keep your chin away from your chest. Keep your arms in line with your ears. Outer left hip pulling back, right thigh forward. Take another inhale, lengthen. Exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, press your palms into the mat. Lift your back knee up. And take your right fingertips maybe off of your mat. You can tent them. Start to turn and twist open to the left. Big open twist here. You can start to reach that left arm back behind you. Maybe even take it to your lower back. Find a little bit of a bind around the top of the right thigh or the hip. Take another inhale breath here and stay for your exhale. Reach your left arm back up into the mat. And let's step back, downward dog. Take a full deep breath in here. Full deep breath out. And lift your right leg up to the sky. Start to stack your hip, open it up. Bend your knee, drop your foot toward the left side. Instead of squaring the shoulders down, can you look underneath your right arm? Get a little bit more opening through the rib cage as well as the hips.
Breathe into that space between your ribs. One more breath. Inhale. Stay for the exhale.
And now look forward. Step your right foot forward inside of your right thumb. You can lower your back knee down if you like, or rise up high crescent lunge. But soften that left knee to get a little bit more vertical in the spine, and then straighten it out. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, use the breath to twist to the right. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Last time, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. You can stay or lower your right hand to the back of your left thigh. Pull your left arm up and back. Beautiful. Twist in this exalted warrior variation. Deep breath in. Another deep breath out. One more. Inhale, bend your right knee. Stay for your exhale. Bring both hands down to the mat. Take a look forward as you step forward. Halfway lift, inhale, and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Connect the breath and movement. This time, step your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Anjaneyasana. Pull your outer right hip back, left thigh forward. This time, flip your left palm up, wrap your right fingertips around your left wrist. Try to keep your chin away from your chest, arms and ears in line. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge to the right. Keep pulling your outer right hip back, left thigh forward and down. Create that space between chin and neck. Keep reaching up and over as you inhale. Little deeper on the exhale, so bring the breath into the rib cage. One more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Inhale, bring your arms back up through center. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Lift your back knee up. Take your left fingertips in a little tent off to the left. Inhale your right arm up. Stay here, or maybe you spiral that hand behind you. Give yourself a little twist and open to the right. Keep pulling the outer right hip back and down. Take a breath in. Fill up the space in your chest. As you breathe out, a little bit more vigorous to get that deeper press of the belly and the twist. Inhale, come back through center, both hands down, and step back, downward facing dog. You can inhale here, and then exhale. And now your left leg lifts up as you inhale. Stack your hip, open it up, bend your knee, and instead of squaring your left shoulder down, open up your left shoulder a little bit. Create more space there in the rib cage. Look underneath your left arm. Let that foot drop toward the right. Big breath in. Big breath out. Beautiful. Look forward. Step forward. You can lower the back knee if you like. Stay high in your back toes and rise up. High crescent lunge. Soften your right knee even if you're staying upright, just to get more vertical in the spine. Maybe you shorten your stance if you need. Try to straighten out your back leg, rock your back heel forward, bend that left knee. Take an inhale, lengthen your chest. As you exhale, twist to the left side. Pull your outer left hip back. Inhale, come forward again. Exhale, twist. Last time, inhale, forward. Exhale, twist. So using the breath, each movement. Reach your right arm up, left hand down if you like. Find this beautiful exhaltation in the twist. Concentrate your mind on your breath. Beautiful, back through center. Both hands down, look forward, step forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful, breathe in, reach up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Plant your palms, step back again, downward dog. Keep your feet hip distance apart. On your inhale breath, lift your heels high. As you exhale, drop both your heels to the right side.
Take 3 deep breaths here. Press the outer edge of your left foot down, inner blade of your right foot down. Let your head be heavy, look between your thighs. On your inhale breath, lift your heels high. Exhale, heels to the left, toes are to the right. Press the inner blade of your right foot down. The inner blade of your left foot down. Get both feet flat to the mat. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, come back through center, bend your knees if you need, and you pull the hips back. Exhale, heels down. Look forward, step your right foot inside of your right thumb, spin your back heel down, have hip distance between your heels, and rise up. Virabhadrasana 1. Pull your outer right hip back, left thigh forward, reach your arms to the sky as you lengthen the tailbone toward your front heel, so there's not a back bend here. Take another inhale, lengthen, reach up. As you exhale, interlace your hands behind your lower back. Let the knuckles come down, let the chest lift up. Keep knitting the lower ribs in. Take another breath in, reach your chest up a little higher. And as you exhale, mindfully bow forward over your front thigh. Let the crown of your head come down. Arms lift up and away from the lower back if you can. It's okay if you need to keep your elbows bent and hands closer to your sacrum. Let your right shoulder rest on your right thigh, but keep pulling your outer right hip back as you bend your right knee. Try to look under your body, so crown of the head down, arms lift up more. Baddha Virabhadrasana. Take another deep breath in and a full breath out. Release your hands to the floor. Take a step slightly forward and to the left with your left foot. Both feet are flat. You can use blocks underneath your hands if you like. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Try to keep your sacrum flat so you can check and see, do I need to lift my left hip up a little? Maybe pull my right hip back and down. At least for me, that's the case here on this side. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold over your thigh. Do that a couple times. Inhale, lengthen. Pull the outer right hip back. Exhale to fold. Last time, inhale, lengthen. And this time we'll hold in the fold. You're welcome to use the blocks. Maybe you bring your palms onto the mat under your shoulders, or turn your fingers around and reach your fingertips toward the back of your mat. As you pull your forehead toward your shin, outer right hip pulling back. 2 more breaths. Slowly bring your gaze up. You might want to bring a block underneath your left hand, under your shoulder. Right hand to your right hip. Start to revolve and turn to the right. And then reach your right arm up. Parvrita Trikonasana, revolve triangle pose. If you have a deeper variation, feel free to go there. That might mean taking your left hand on the outside of your right foot. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Look up toward your right palm. So lots of twisting tonight. Really open up the space in the spine. Create more space for the breath. Release any tension from the rib cage, from the lungs. Beautiful. Bring both hands down to the mat. And again, step back, downward dog. And this time, walk your hands a little bit closer to your feet. Release your right hand underneath your body. Reach for your outer right ankle, calf, or thigh, and twist and look underneath your left arm. You can bend your knees if you need. If you have a deeper variation, maybe you step onto your right palm with your left heel. Straighten the legs, pull the hips back and up. Release the right hand, go to the left side. Bend your knees if you need. Reach underneath your body for your outer right ankle, calf, or thigh, or maybe step onto the palm with your right heel. Turn and twist, look underneath your arm. So you can feel that opening in the rib cage, creating more space for the lungs. A lot of tension accumulates in the intercostal muscles between the ribs. It creates contraction around the lungs and the heart. Walk your hands all the way forward again. Look forward, step your left foot through. Back heel spins down, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1 again. Outer left hip pulling back, right thigh forward, feet are hip distance apart approximately. For some people you can do this pose with the feet aligned, but I recommend to create a little bit more space here, especially for the next part. Try to knit the lower ribs in so there's not a back bend here, and lift up strong through the side body, almost like you could separate the ribs. Create lots of expansive space here for the breath, side and forward and back. Top to bottom, side to side. One more deep inhale here. Use the feet as the foundation. Stay for your exhale. And now float the hands to the lower back. Be mindful. Take the opposite grip. Might feel awkward. And a practice of mindfulness is to always take the opposite grip first, and then it becomes less awkward. Knuckles toward the earth, chest toward the sky. Keep knitting the lower ribs in as you lift up through the heart. So not really a back bend here, just heart lifting. Take another deep breath in here. Lift up a little higher. And as you exhale, bow forward over the front thigh. Outer left hip is still pulling back. You can rest your left shoulder on the thigh, but let the head drop down. So chin in toward the chest. And this creates some space in the shoulders for the arms to come up and over the head. If you need to, you can always keep the elbows bent and hands at your sacrum. Take a few deep breaths here. Outer left hip has to keep working inward. Crown of the head down, looking underneath your body. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Come halfway up, just about. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. You might need to step your right foot further in. Maybe blocks underneath your hands, so your feet might be closer together, maybe even a little wider. So try to get both your legs straight. So you'll adjust your feet to get the legs straight. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose, maybe without the blocks. Take an inhale, lengthen, and find the level nature of your sacrum. So in my case, I need to pull the outer left hip back and raise my right hip up, it feels like. It doesn't always feel like the adjustment you need to make, but if you can, try to imagine balancing something on your sacrum. Take an inhale here to lengthen. Exhale to bow. A couple of times. You can always keep the knees soft if you need. Exhale, bow in. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to bow in. And we'll stay here to hold for about 5 breaths. You're welcome to walk your hands either underneath your shoulders so you can stay on the blocks, or maybe turn your fingertips back around toward the back of your mat. Tent your fingertips and pull your outer left hip back as you bow your forehead toward your shin. Use that breath. Find the awareness of each moment. You bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. You might want to bring a block underneath your right hand. Left hand to your left hip. You start to turn and twist and look toward the left. A revolved triangle pose here. Adding in lots of that extra twisting tonight. Keep pulling your outer left hip back. If you have a deeper variation, you can walk your right hand closer to your left foot or maybe on the outside. But try to keep the alignment, so crown of the head reaching forward. Same direction as your front big toe. A beautiful opening through the heart. We make the respiratory system work a little bit here. To pump the belly. A little bit more with the breath to squeeze out any extra breath with that twist involved. One more inhale. And stay for your exhale. And then bring both hands down to the mat. Step back, downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And from here we'll lower to our knees. Untuck your toes, bring your hips to your heels. Your knees can be wide if you like, Malasana child pose. And the shoulders will round over the thighs, forehead down. I'll just stay upright so you can hear me. Here we'll add in the Brahmari breath, one of my favorite pranayama exercises.
The exhalation is with a humming sound. So it's important to let the breath be as long and loud as you can to really vibrate the entire body. It's almost like a shakedown, and just let everything go. Take a deep clearing breath in through your nose. Brahmari breath, exhale. Again, inhale. Last one, inhale. And as the echo of the last breath tapers off, feel what's happening in the mind and the body. Complete softening and surrender. It's like you've cleared it all out. Slowly raise yourself up enough to extend your arms forward. Press into your finger pads, let the arm bones lift up, and let your shoulders come down. You might want to widen your knees, forehead down. And now bring your palms together like you're clapping. Bend your elbows and bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck, a variation of Anahatasana. See if you can walk your elbows more forward, and you may even want to come up onto your knees and tuck your toes. So that same kind of stretch we did at the beginning, pressing the toes into the mat, and now melt the heart down. Full Anahatasana. And this is a beautiful posture as you extend the elbows forward and you get that full lengthening into the side body and the full lengthening of the chest and the heart. So really beautiful posture to accentuate the ability that we have to breathe here, and the heart pressing down, a little bit of pressure there to really expand that breath. So take 3 more deep breaths here. Beautiful. Release back to child pose for just a breath. And when you're ready, plant into your hands, tuck your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. And take an inhale breath, lift your right leg up to the sky, stack your hip up again, bend your knee, drop your foot behind you, and then bring your right foot through to the center of your thumbs. Your back heel spins down, front heel to back arch alignment, open up your arms. So create as much distance between your fingers as you can, and in this variation, let's face the palms forward so the thumb is up and the pinky finger is down, so you can really open up the edges of the heart, the edges of the lungs. Bend deeply into that right knee, and make sure your right knee is tracking toward your baby toe. Hug your outer right hip underneath you, inner left leg open, bend deeply. Imagine you're hugging a big tree here, so getting that beautiful connection to the earth with your feet, and that connection through your fingertips as you reach out as wide as you can. Take a big breath in here. Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale. Flip your right palm up, left hand lowers to your back thigh. Inhale, reach your arm up, keep bending the knee, extend, really lengthen all of these ribs away from each other. As you exhale, pull the palm back and maybe turn your chest open. You're welcome to support your head or take any kind of bind practice that you have. Take 3 deep breaths here, turning your heart toward the sky. Open up the right side of your body here. Lengthen the rib cage. Deep breath in. Breathing out. 1 more. And come back through center. Straighten your front leg for an inhale. Bend back into it as you exhale. Now start to lean forward more. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Knee is still tracking toward the baby toe. Left arm is lifting up, so create a lot of space here. And then lower your hand parallel to the earth and sweep it across the horizon. Spin your pinky finger down, thumb up.
And see if you can turn your gaze underneath that left shoulder again. And from here, you might want to go lower with the right fingertips or maybe to a block. Maybe you have a bind practice. A half bind will spin the palm behind you. Full bind will bring the right arm underneath your thigh. Maybe you find a strap with your fingers or your wrist. Keep turning the heart up toward the sky. Outer right hip pulling back, inner left thigh open. 2 more breaths. Baddha Utthita Parsvakonasana, bound extended side angle pose. Now slowly start to unbind, look down if you need. Windmill yourself back up, warrior 2. Take an inhale breath here, and as you exhale, straighten that front leg. Heel toe your back foot in a couple of steps. Now we'll go for Trikonasana, the unrevolved variation. Inhale, hinge forward over your front thigh. Try to pull that right leg to straight. And then pivot the arms. Maybe you take a block underneath your right hand. It can be inside your calf or outside. Try to turn your heart from your chest to the sky. Lengthen through the arms. So the same variation of the arms that we did in Warrior 2. Palms facing forward like you could hug a big tree. Take a deep inhale breath here, and let's expand the breath here as we again sweep that top arm over your, look underneath the shoulder and notice what happens to the rib cage. There's a big expansion there, so it's hard to really fill up that breath to meet the capacity that we're creating. See if you can turn your heart open a little bit more. Another deep inhale, long exhale. And now bring your left hand to your left hip. Soften your right knee. Maybe bring a block with you so it comes underneath your right palm. As you start to lift your left leg up, press out through your heel, curl your toes toward you, and then roll your chest open. Ardha Chandrasana. Feel free to stay. Maybe you reach your left arm up. Maybe you can even turn and look up. So we've done a lot of head turning tonight. Maybe you're ready to look up toward the left palm. It's tricky. You're going to really root down through your standing foot. Keep both legs active. Feel like you're hugging a big tree. Arms are wide. Take another deep breath. A full exhale. And now soften your right knee. Bring both hands down to the mat. Pull your outer right hip back, left thigh down. Standing L-shaped pose. We'll just be here for a couple of breaths. If you have any variations, maybe you go to standing splits, maybe you want to move to the wall, work on a couple of handstand hops. Maybe you just stay here, maybe use blocks. Maybe you put both feet down for a rest. Be active here, press out through your left heel, pull your outer right hip back, try to lift your chest. And soften both knees. Bring your left knee to meet your right and stand all the way up. Bring your left knee with you right up into your chest. Moving into tree pose. Take your left knee out to the left and place your left foot anywhere along the inner leg. It can be above or below the knee. Maybe not right onto the knee. Hands to your heart. Stand up tall. Vrikshasana. Press your foot and leg together wherever they are. And you can even modify by just having the toes touching down inside of the arch of your right foot, or anywhere along that feels good to you. Concentrate your gaze, focus. Maybe you open up your branches, and again you can turn your palms face forward to really lengthen the sides of your rib cage, sides of your heart, your lungs. Trying to knit the lower ribs in, so create a lot of length in the body here, not a back bend. Maybe you start to look up. Maybe you close your eyes and play around with your balance a little bit. Focus on your breath. Slowly come back through center. Bring your left knee in toward your chest and step it down. And give your arms and legs a good shake. We'll take the feet wide before we go to the other side. We'll come down into Malasana Squat. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky, and as you exhale, hands come down through heart center. Bend your knees out to the sides and come all the way down. And if you need to, help yourself down and come onto your bum. And you can sit in a butterfly position, so soles of your feet together, knees out wide. You're welcome to stay here.
If you want to come into a crow pose just for extra fun and excitement, feel free to take that or just stay here for a few breaths. A lot of variations here. If you've practiced with me, you might have done a twist. You're welcome to do any of those or just find your balance in the center. We'll release our palms down to the mat, lift the hips, straighten the legs, heel toe the feet in, halfway lift, lengthen, exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen. As you plant your palms, step back, downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky, stack your hip, open it up, bend your knee, drop your foot behind you. And as you exhale, step your left foot through between your thumbs. Your back heel spins down, find front heel to back arch alignment and rise up, warrior two. Keeping your palms open, reaching forward and back like you're hugging a big tree again. So create as much length across the chest, the rib cage, the belly, through the heart. Gazing down your front hand, thumb is up, pinky down, knee is tracking toward the baby toe. So let it push outward, use that strong outer thigh, and then hug your inner thighs toward each other. Each inhale extending, each exhale deepening. One more, inhale, exhale. Now flip your left palm up, lower your right hand down. As you inhale, lengthen through the side of your body by keeping your left knee bent, fingertips reaching up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, pull that arm back, palm facing down behind you. You can stay here, try to turn your chest open. Keep bending your left knee, maybe you support your head, maybe you find a bind. 3 deep breaths. Increasing the capacity of our lungs, opening through the front of the body here. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten out your front leg. Inhale, exhale back. Now start to hinge forward. Feel free to walk your back foot in a little if you need. Finding Parsvottanasana, side angle pose. And start with the forearm on the thigh, right arm reaching up, palm facing away again. Take an inhale here, stay for your exhale. Keep scooping your outer left hip underneath you, inner right thigh open, and then let your palm become parallel to the floor, and then sweep it across the horizon. Again, looking underneath your right arm, pinky down, thumb up. Feel free to stay. Maybe you take your left fingertips to a block or the mat. Again, keep aligning those hips. Maybe you stay here, or you go for a half bind, right hand behind the lower back. Maybe a full bind, left arm underneath. You can use a strap, find your fingers, or maybe your right wrist. Keep aligning the crown of the head with your front big toe, scooping your outer left hip underneath you, inner right thigh rolling open. So both of your feet are really important here for this foundation. One more breath. And you look down, rise back up as you unwind warrior two. And then straighten that front leg. Shorten your stance a little bit. Heel toe your back foot in, working for triangle. Keep your palms facing forward. Inhale, hinge forward. And then pivot the arms, again like you're hugging a big tree. Left palm can be inside or outside of your front leg, but maybe you use a block for your fingertips. You can stay right here. Or again, sweep that top arm over your ear and feel that intense stretch into the side body. Look down, right hand to your right hip. Maybe a block comes underneath your left hand if it's not there already. Step forward onto your left foot. Raise your right leg up, and both feet and legs are very active here. So especially the inner left foot needs to press down, pressing out through your right heel, toes curling back towards you, and then open up the hip.
Start to turn and twist your chest toward the right side. Maybe you can reach your right arm up, maybe even your gaze up. Pretty challenging to keep the gaze up. Any variations if you have them. A few deep breaths of concentrating and focusing, staying mindful. Each breath is that moment that you need to be in. One more breath. And take your gaze down, soften your left knee enough to bring both hands to the blocks or to mat. Standing L-shaped pose. So if you like, for a few breaths, you can take other variations, standing splits or some hops to handstand if you want to move to a wall or on your mat. Outer left hip pulling back, inner right thigh rolling down. And soften your right knee, soften your left knee. Bring your knees together to touch. Stand all the way up for Vrikshasana, tree pose. Whee! Wobbles and wiggles might happen, and that's good because that attunes you to the moment. You have to pay attention what's happening there, or you fall over. Or you might fall over anyways. Bring your right knee in toward your chest. Take it out to the right. Your right foot, sole of your foot comes inside of your left leg. Toes can be down for that more modified variation. Just inside the arch of the left foot, or maybe somewhere along the inner shin, maybe below the knee or above the knee. Try not to be right on the knee to put lateral pressure on the knee. Press your foot and leg together. Stand up tall. Use the breath here. So concentrate and focus your drishti and the breath to concentrate your mind into this moment. Maybe your arms come out wide. Maybe you face your hands forward to open up the volume of the lungs. Really lift and lengthen the lungs here. One more breath, maybe look up. Play with your balance. Hands come to the heart, lift your knee, and step your foot down and give yourself a little shake. Beautiful work, everybody. I hope you're feeling that connection to your breath as much as I am here. At this time, we'll take the feet again wide. We'll take kind of a modified downward dog. So inhale, actually step back a little bit on your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky and fold. So your feet are out wide. And start to walk your hands to the top of your mat as you pull your hips back and away from you. You get a nice long side body. Maybe you can walk the feet out even wider. Even wider. Maybe one more wider. Making the outer edges of your feet parallel or slightly pigeon-toed with your toes. And here we really feel the length of the side body. And one more twist here. Walk your hands directly underneath your shoulders, right hand underneath your face. Sweep your left arm up to the sky. Big stretch to reach it up. Spin your hand around if you like to the lower back. Maybe you can hook it to the top of the right thigh. And one last twist for the spine here. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale. Bring your left hand back up. Come to a halfway lift, both fingertips, palms down or fingertips tented, lengthen. Exhale, fold. 5 breaths here. Pratyahara Padottanasana, wide-legged, standing forward fold. And walk your hands in line with your feet. If you have Shirshasana B in your practice, feel free to take that. Tripod headstand. Try to walk the crown of your head in line with your inner arches. Maybe you take your fingertips back behind you and pull your body back. Any variations that you have. Start to walk your hands back underneath your chest, left hand underneath your face, right hand to your right hip. Turn and twist open to the right. Feel free to stay or reach your right arm up. That same sense of hugging a big tree. Spin your palm back behind you if you like. Maybe Wrapping it around to the top of your thigh. Take an inhale here. Twist a little deeper as you exhale. One more inhale. A full exhale. Inhale to reach your right arm up. Bring it down onto the mat. Walk your hands forward. That last stretch here in this wide-legged downward dog. And slowly heel toe your feet in. Find downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee. Stack your hip. Open it up. And as you exhale, Kapata Raja Kapotasana, pigeon pose. Right knee behind your right wrist. Your right toes will come somewhere in line with your left hand. If you're more open, you can bring your shin bone more parallel to the top edge of your mat. Tuck your left toes and slide the skin of your left knee as far back as you can, and untuck your toes. Lengthen the top of your foot down. You can inhale, lift your heart up. And as you exhale, fold forward over your thigh. Let your forehead relax, maybe onto the pillow of your hands, or you can turn your gaze to one side. Take 5 more deep breaths. And slowly come back up. Tuck your back toes, slide back and up, downward dog. Feel free to stay here. If you want to flip over into a wild thing, you can. Drop your right toes behind you, lift your right heel, give yourself a big stretch. Make your way back to downward dog. Left leg lifts back and up, stack your hip, bend your knee, let your foot go behind you a little bit. Ekapata Raja Kapotasana, pigeon pose. Left knee behind your left wrist. Your left foot will be somewhere in line with your right hand, but maybe further back. Tuck your back toes, slide the skin of your right knee as far back as you can, and then lengthen the top of your foot down. Give your ankle a nice stretch. Take an inhale, lengthen. If you have more space, bring your shin bone more forward, but you want to keep both hips square to the mat. And then lengthen and fold down. Feel free to take your forehead down or turn the opposite direction that you did last time. And take 5 more deep breaths. Use that sense of pranayama, breath discipline here, to make the breaths as long and expansive as you can. Find the pause, the kambaka, the space between each breath. And slowly start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes. Slide your left leg all the way back and up. Feel free to stack your hip. Open it up. Maybe go for wild thing. Left toes come to the mat. Left heel is lifted. Arch and open. Lengthen the front of the body. Beautiful back bend variation. Deep breath in and out. Come all the way back. Downward dog. You can make your way to seated, so you can hop, step, or jump through, or lower your knees. Make your way onto your bum. Lengthen your legs long, create space for your sitting bones. So roll the flesh out from underneath you, side to side, Paschimottanasana. And this is a beautiful pose to lengthen the body. So think of space when you do this pose, and length from your hips to your fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale, reach, lead with the heart. Hang on to something. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward and up. Feel that space. Exhale, fold. 5 breaths. Let the back side of your body soften.
Inhale breath, slowly start to roll yourself up. Bring your feet to the mat and guide your hips toward your heels. Sit up nice and tall, reach your fingertips forward. Slowly start to descend down. You can use a little bit of abdominal strength. So you'll come crashing down, or use your hands behind your knees or onto the mat. Come down slow. And once you get there, give yourself a nice hug. Hug your knees into your chest. And then release your feet underneath your knees. One back bend today. So you can take Urdhva Dhanurasana if it's in your practice. Palms press up and then come beside the ears. Little bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Arms beside your hips. Feet inside the width of your hands. When you're ready, everybody lift your hips. You can come onto the crown of your head and then push all the way up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Or if you're in little bridge like me, interlace your hands. Press your knuckles toward your heels. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your chest a little higher, and let your inner knees hug inward. Take 5 deep breaths. Keep pressing into your feet. Try to lengthen your arms and legs if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Everyone take one more breath. See if you can lift up everything a little higher. Slowly start to come down. You'll come onto the crown from Urdhva Dhanurasana. Release your hands from little bridge pose. Come all the way to the mat. Let your feet come out wide, inner knees touch. And place your hands over your breath. Breathe into your hands. Full deep inhale. Sigh out your mouth. And now do that again with the lips closed. Deep inhale through the nose. Now open up your arms in a cactus shape. Let your knees twist to the left side. Walk your right foot more to the right. Maybe place your left ankle on your outer right knee. Draw the right knee down toward the mat. Turn and look over your right shoulder. And if this is too much, you can stack your knees together and bring them to the left side. And creating this last little bit of space here in the rib cage, across the belly, across the chest. We maximize the capacity of our heart and our lungs. Release your top foot, bring your gaze back to center. Realign your hips and drop your knees over to the right side. Maybe walk your left foot a bit more to the left. Place your right ankle on your outer left knee or thigh. Turn your gaze to the left. And again, you can stack your knees if you like instead of this. Twist. Take a few deep breaths, really appreciating this volume that you have here in the lungs, this volume that you've created in the heart. This opportunity to be mindful. Take one last full round of breath here. Unbind yourself, bring your gaze and knees back through center. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a big squeeze and bring the forehead in nice and tight. Make yourself a small little ball. Take one more inhale here, as tight as you can. And then exhale, release yourself down. Find Shavasana. Mindfulness. To be mindful is to gain intense awareness of the present moment. Sounds, sights, flavors, and scents. Everything that is happening right now. What you are thinking, feeling, and doing in this instant. Your breath can bring you to this state. So take a deep inhale breath. A full exhale. And enjoy every moment of Shavasana. Stay as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you again soon. Namaste.